I asked Claude to replace my Power BI KPI cards because frankly, they kind of suck. It built exactly what I wanted in under a minute, and I'm going to show you exactly how I did it. If we haven't met yet, I'm Mike. I'm a senior finance leader, and over the last decade, I've helped automate more than 150,000 hours out of finance processes. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to build custom KPI cards in Power BI using Claude. No coding, no developer, just a free tool from AppSource and a prompt. And then I'm going to show you a few variations so you can pick the one that fits your dashboard. Now, if you want the exact prompts from this video saved and ready to go, they're in my AI library. Click the link in the description to sign up for Finance AI Insider and get access today. Here's the problem I kept running into with finance teams. Power BI's native KPI card gives you a number, a label, and an arrow, and that's it. If you want the card to flip red when you're under budget and green when you're over, Power BI can't do that cleanly. If you have the dollar variance and the percent variance on the same card side by side, well, it's not possible with a native visual. If you want a card layout that actually matches your company's reporting format, it's also not possible. So what happens is the dashboard gets built in Power BI, the data's live, everything is connected, and then someone on the finance team exports the numbers to Excel, formats the KPI card there, and pastes a screenshot into a PowerPoint deck. Every single month. I had a controller reach out last year who'd been doing this for 18 months on a 6-location dashboard. 6 locations, 12 KPI cards, every month, manually reformatted. That's hours. And that's one of the first things we fixed. The fix is a free tool from AppSource called HTML Viewer. It takes an HTML string from a DAX measure and it renders it as a visual inside your Power BI report. Claude writes the measure, you paste it in, and the card is live. Let me show you how it works, and then I'll show you a few different card designs so you can pick what fits. And here we are in Power BI. Now, this is a simplified dashboard for teaching before everyone jumps in the comments and says, wow, that's an ugly dashboard. Yes, it's about the skill and the process, and any pretty dashboards would be distracting. So it's intentionally clean and crisp just so you can get the fundamentals in. I know the comments are still coming though. So let's go ahead and get our new tools installed. So we're going to come over here to build visuals. Of course, if it's collapsed, if you're fairly new to Power BI, you just click this button, and we're going to come to the ellipses here, the 3 dots that says get more visuals. We'll click that. We'll click get more visuals again. And this is going to open up the window that's going to let us get additional visuals. Now, in here, we're looking for AppSource. It doesn't fully matter, but if your organization has some, they'll be sorted to the top. We can go look just on AppSource, and we're going to pull in our first app. And for this one, we're going to search HTML. This one will come up. This is what we're looking for, this HTML content. This is not a plug or an affiliate. This is a totally free tool. It's just the best one I found that I use. And we're going to go ahead and install this. So all we have to do is hit add, and we'll see it installed down here in our custom visual section, and the import was successful. Now to use these, they work just like regular visuals. So we'll click this. It's going to add the visual to the canvas. We'll go ahead and move this over and get it set up. So we'll say we'll put this visual right down here in this convenient blank space. And just like a normal visual, it has a values field and then some granularity, and values is what we're going to use. And that's really it. The setup is that simple. Now, here we are in Claude. Now, I want to mention that we're going to be using free features for all of this. You can get really fancy and automate this process if you want to use Claude Cowork or Claude Code, but I want to make sure this is approachable, and everything I'm going to show you is available on the free version. Now, that includes the model. If you use the really advanced Opus models, the really deep thinking models, those are going to require you to have a paid version. We're going to keep it on Sonnet. The one thing we're going to do is we're going to bump the effort up to high being the best effort that we can have on a free plan. You'll see here, of course, it's suggesting Opus. I'm in a paid plan, but I want to show you just the free features because you can do it with all of this. Now, even with the HTML measure, we have to tell Claude or any AI tool, this will really work on ChatGPT, this will work on Copilot. We're going to use Claude here because I found it to be the most capable working with HTML and DAX. Your mileage may vary, but we need to get the information about our Power BI dashboard into this. Now, again, I've got some great videos if you do use the paid tools. I've got some great videos. I'll put the link right up here. That's going to walk you through how to actually just connect Claude Code right to Power BI, and it will just feed all this in automatically. But again, I want to show you the free versions, so we're going to go to our files and be able to pull out what's called a TMDL file that's going to give the model all the information. Now, the easiest way to do this is when you build your dashboards, you want to save them as a Power BI project.pbip. The default will just be a Power BI dashboard. You want to save it as project, and that's going to give you the following files. So this is where my dashboard is saved. You'll see this folder called Semantic Model. The semantic model is the model behind the dashboard. And inside of here, if I go into the folder and go to definition, you're going to see these TMDL models for both the database, the model, and then all of the tables. These files will tell Claude everything it needs to know about your model. All we have to do is attach these, and it's going to know your column names, your table names, everything it needs to know to reference them. So let's go ahead and grab these. We can pull these right over like this. There we go. All right, then we'll come back. We'll go back and get our database and our model. You see they're very small files. They're in coding language. It's very easy for Claude to read these. They would look like gibberish if you opened them up, but Claude is going to love this. This is everything it needs to know about our working model as it sits today. And then from there, we can go ahead and just prompt this in. Act as an expert Power BI designer. I have added a custom visual to my dashboard that will let me create visuals using HTML. I need your help writing the DAX measures to feed that. For the first measure, I want to build a KPI card that can show an actual versus budget variance, the variance in dollars and percent, and the KPI card will flip red or green based on the direction of the variance. Let's do this to start for both revenue and expenses. Higher revenue would be green, lower revenue would be red. Higher expenses would be red, and lower expenses would be green. All right, there's our prompt. So we're telling it how we want it to behave. We're telling it kind of where we are. We're telling it what we want it to do, and then kind of some directions about how we want the outputs to behave. So we'll go ahead and send this off, and we'll let Claude work its magic. So you'll see Claude is diving right in. It's reading the TMDL files we gave it to understand. It's going through to understand the data model, the financial data structure. It knew exactly what to do with these files. This is exactly where Claude is strongest. See here, it's going into the relationships and additional context. So once it understands the full model, it's going to learn about our current model and what we have. And then it's going to go ahead, plan out the KPI card, and then write the HTML for us. And just like that, we've got the measures back. Now, again, I could show you how to be really fancy and we could have Claude Code pop this right in, but we're going to stick with the free features. So this is everything that we need to do our measure. We're going to go ahead and copy this. You'll see it's using names right from our data set. We've copied this over. Let's go back to Power BI. We're going to go ahead and add this into our financials table. We'll do a new measure. We're going to paste this in just like we would any measure. Go ahead and hit enter on that. All right, it is saved with no errors. We're going to go to our custom HTML visual. We're going to go back to our custom HTML visual, and then we're simply going to pull this into values. And just like that, our KPI card has generated exactly like we were asking for. So here's our revenue. It is 2.372 million. There's the budget value. We are favorable to budget. Revenue is higher by 6.4%. Now compare that to what we're getting up here. This is a KPI card of revenue versus budget. It's the same 143,000, but look at the depth, look at the additional information. How cool is that? Now, just to show you, it did give us 4 of these and we can swap between them if we want to. Let's go ahead and add another measure. We'll go to new measure. We'll go back and grab DAX for a different one that Claude gave us just to show you how powerful this is. Here's our expenses. We'll go ahead and copy this over. We're going to paste this in. We'll hit enter. Go ahead and collapse that, and then we will simply swap this out. And now for our expenses we're in, we see it flip the other way. Our expenses were unfavorable to budget. They were high. This understands the logic we gave it, that higher is better for revenue, but worse for expenses. You'll see we're $84,000 over in expenses, or 15.7%. That's a huge margin hit compared to the revenue growth. And now we've got our KPI. So now these are great, but they're just one metric, and we would have to have multiple metrics for each card. So what if instead of just the sales variances, we wanted to look at, let's say, all of our different accounts, maybe our revenue, our different costs, and each have their own red and green logic. Let's go ahead and see how Claude can help us out with that. Continue to act as a Power BI expert. This is great, but I'm looking to have multiple metrics on a single KPI card. I would like to show sales revenue, cost of goods sold, labor, and marketing all on the same card, each with their own red and green logic. All right, so there's our prompt. We're going to put all of these onto one card. We'll send this away. Claude still understands everything about our model. All of this up here is saved in context and memory. We don't have to reprovide our TMDLs unless, of course, we've changed our file in between, which in this case we haven't. So we'll go ahead and send that off. I don't know about you. I'm not a coder by trade. I'm a finance professional by trade. This is a lot of coding and this would take me a while. And Claude is just popping it right out for us. There we go. There's everything we're looking for. We'll go ahead and copy this. We're going to come back here. We'll add it to financials as a new measure. Go ahead and paste that in. With our DAX measure in, we'll go ahead and close this. Here's our multimetric KPI card right here. We'll pop the values out. We'll pop this in. And there we go. Very similar view, but now we've got all four. So we can see sales, good, cost of goods sold, bad, labor, bad, marketing, good. And we've got actuals, budget, and variance, a really nice card customized for us. Now I want to show you how you can reiterate DAX. We know executives love to come and give kind of last minute tweaks and changes. Different executives have different views they're looking for. So let's say that someone has just come back. They say, I love this chart. I love the direction you're headed, but I actually want to have a little trend line to show what this is looking like over time, right? We've got several months of data here. So let's go back and understand what the trend looks like. Continue to act as a Power BI expert. The multimetric KPI card is great. I want to enhance it with one additional change, leaving everything already there in place. I would like to add a trend line or a spark line to each row, showing how that item has performed over the last few months. We are currently in June 2023, so we would want this to look back to January 2023. All right, so there we go. We'll send this prompt away and we'll let Claude do its magic. All right, here we go, building away. It's going to build an inline SVG, and here we see all of the different data coming back. Up at the top, it's added that it's going to sort all of the months, and then it's building in all of the different months for the sparklines. It certainly adds a lot of complexity, but a very good demonstration of how quickly we can just reiterate on some of these things we're building. This is certainly a lot of HTML. Again, I say, how long would this take you to all write manually? So here we go. Here's our information. We're going to go ahead and copy this. In this case, we're just going to update our existing measure. We don't need to build a new one. This is going to replace it. We'll paste that in. Hit check. Back with no errors. Go ahead and close that. It's already applied, and there are our spark lines. Everything else stayed exactly as it was, and then we added our cool spark lines. Definitely a very concerning revenue trend, and I certainly want to understand what happened here with labor, and this is a really cool way to look at your KPIs and understand them over time, and nothing you could ever even begin to build with native Power BI visuals. If you found this useful, make sure to hit the like button. It helps the channel reach more finance pros who are stuck in the same manual formatting cycle. And subscribe if you want more of this. I put out 2 new videos every week on AI tools for finance, and this kind of workflow is exactly what we cover. And if you want to see the full end-to-end workflow, this KPI card plus full variance tables plus bullet charts, well, that's my main video from this week. I'll link it right up here for you. I'll catch you over there. Until then, this is Mike signing off from F9 Finance. Cheers.